I hope you can see the screen. Okay. We have the 17th day of determinants. We'll be very close to the completion of the chapter. As I told, today is one of the most important points. Yesterday I gave one question. Let me just fast go through that. If AB equal to 0, if A and B are square matrices, of course, of the same order, then prove that either A equal to 0 or B equal to 0 or both A and B are singular. Not only A or only B, both. You can prove in various ways. I mean, the logic you can develop like this. You can suppose that AB equal to 0 and suppose A and B are non-singular, then you may show either A equal to 0 or B equal to 0. Or you may suppose that A is not equal to 0, B not equal to 0, and if A and B are non-singular, it is not possible. One of them has to be singular. So let us say, I just pick up one method like this. If A is not equal to 0, B is not equal to 0, and if AB equal to 0, what I will show is that both A and B are singular. Both A and B are singular. We have to prove that both A and B are singular matrices. If possible, let A be non-singular. I will show it is not possible. Or if A is non-singular, when A and B are non-zero matrices and AB equal to 0, and if A is non-singular, it cannot happen. So I have AB equal to 0 where A and B are non-zero matrices, and if possible, I suppose that A is a non-singular matrix. You know, when A is non-singular, A inverse exists. Now in AB equal to 0, what I do is that I multiply from left of both the sides of the equation with A inverse. Why A inverse exists? Because A is non-singular. Now A inverse into AB, matrix multiplication is associative. That is A inverse A into B. But what is A inverse A? It is identity. IB equal to 0. But IB equal to 0 implies B equal to 0. Oh, that is contradicting our assumption that A and B are non-zero. Right? Which contradicts the assumption that B is non-zero. That means our supposition, if possible, A is non-singular, is not possible. That means A must be singular matrix. In the same way, you can show B also is singular. Similarly, we can show B is also singular. So if AB equal to 0, the options are either one of them is a zero matrix, and the other may be any, or both are singular matrices. Hence, if AB equal to 0, either A equal to 0 or B equal to 0, or both A and B are singular matrices. Now the main point, the major point, or the most important point of the whole topic, or the most important application, which you can definitely expect, is to solve a system of linear equations using matrix methods. Solving system of linear equations using matrix methods. Consider the system of linear equations. I have three equations, linear equations in x, y, and z. Maybe x and y or x, y, z, you be any number of equations, but we are only talking about linear equations. But if you have three equations, we need three unknowns, or if you have two unknowns, then two equations. So a1x plus b1y plus c1z equal to d1, a2x plus b2y plus c2z equal to d2, and a3x plus b3y plus c3z equal to d3. This equation, system of linear equations, I am going to write in a matrix format, matrix form. How do we write? The following way. How do we write? We can write this as matrix A1, B1, C1, A2, B2, C2, A3, B3, C3 multiplied by column matrix X, Y, Z equal to the column D1, D2, D3. You can easily see when you multiply and equate, you get the same. Or I can, in short, I can write AX equal to B, where A, B, and X and B are the matrices like this. A we call the matrix of coefficients. X is the column matrix of variables, and B is the column of constants. A is the matrix of coefficients, X is the column matrix of variables, and B is the column matrix of constants. Few of them may be zero, few of them may be non-zero. In case if determinant A is non-zero, that means A is non-singular, then A inverse X is. Be careful, close here. Determinant A is non-zero, then A inverse X is. In the matrix equation Ax equal to B, if I multiply both sides with A inverse, so A inverse X will be equal to, A inverse X will be equal to, here if this Ax equal to B, I multiply with A inverse both sides, A inverse of Ax will be equal to A inverse B. A inverse of Ax equal to A inverse B. But what is A inverse Ax? Matrix multiplication is associative. So that is A inverse A into X equal to A inverse B. What is A inverse A? Identity matrix. Ix equal to A inverse B. But what is Ix? X. X equal to A inverse B. X is the column of variables. We got the values of X equal to A inverse B. No need of any other solution. But here the only thing is that find A inverse. Find A inverse, multiply with B, then equate to X. X is the column. A inverse B also will be a column matrix. Equating that, you can directly read out what is X, what is Y, and what is Z. You remember, X equal to A inverse. You can avoid the intermediate steps. You may need to remember if A is a non-singular matrix, that means if A is, you have to see when determinant A is non-zero, A inverse X is, and X equal to A inverse B. This intermediate step you can avoid. X equal to A inverse B, where what is A inverse? 1 by determinant A into adjoint of A. A inverse equal to 1 by determinant A into adjoint of A. So for the system of equations, you have to read this very carefully to understand it. If determinant A is non-zero, unique solution X is, and what is that unique solution? X equal to A inverse B, where A inverse equal to 1 by determinant A into adjoint of A. A inverse equal to 1 by determinant A into adjoint of A. What is the condition? Determinant A should be non-zero. If determinant A is 0, unique solution does not exist. There are now two cases. Proof is beyond the requirement. Determinant A is 0 and adjoint of A into B is non-zero. Keep in mind, adjoint of A into B is non-zero. What is adjoint of A? It is the transpose of cofactor matrix of A. Adjoint of A into B is not equal to 0. No solution. We can say the system is inconsistent. Will you remember it? Determinant A is 0 and adjoint of A into B is non-zero. The system is inconsistent. There is no solution. Now the case 3. Suppose determinant A is 0 and adjoint of A into B is also 0. What can we say? The first case, there is unique solution. In second case, no solution. System is inconsistent. Now the third case, what is that? Determinant A is 0 and adjoint of A into B is also 0 matrix. It is 0 matrix. 0 matrix O. Then unique solution does not exist. Unique solution does not exist. The system may have infinitely many solutions or no solution. Remember, it is not concluded here when determinant A equal to 0 and adjoint of A into B equal to 0 matrix O. Adjoint of A into B is also 0 matrix. Then nothing concluded. What we know is that unique solution does not exist. Unique solution does not exist. System may have infinitely many solutions or no solution. So in this case, what will we do? Here, we put one of the variable as a constant k and remove one equation. If you have 3 equations in the variables x, y, z, we pick up one variable as a constant. You can take x, y, or z, any according to your convenience. Remove one of the equations. So you'll have two equations and two variables. The other is taken as a constant. Again, you have to go back to the first step and see whether it is consistent or inconsistent. Let's take one example. Listen very carefully. Solve using matrices. No other method will be applicable. You have to apply matrices only. 5x plus 2y minus 3z equal to 22. 2x minus 7y plus 8z equal to minus 16. 3x minus 9y plus 2z equal to minus 11. So we are going to rewrite the system of equations in matrix form. Ax equal to b, where A, the matrix of coefficients, x, column of variables, and b, column of constants, 22 minus 16 minus 11. So what is your determinant of A? Determinant of A is, you can easily calculate. The calculation part now I can skip. You can know how to calculate the determinant. Determinant is going to be 321. What do you observe? Not equal to 0. When the determinant is not equal to 0, what is the conclusion? It's quite clear. Unique solution exists. And what is the unique solution? Directly we have x equal to A inverse B. Where what is A inverse? 1 by determinant A into adjoint of A. Now our major job is to find the inverse. For that we have the determinant with us, 321. We need the adjoint of A. After that we will find A inverse B. What is adjoint of A? Adjoint of A is the transpose of cofactor matrix. We will find the adjoint of A. We will find the cofactors of each element, A11. You have the sign plus sign. It is actually minus 14 plus 72. Simplifying, it is 58. Now A12, plus minus, now we have to manage. A12 minus of 4 minus 24. It's minus of minus 20, that is 20. A13, you calculate it to 3. Further, A21, each row I am writing row wise. Later, for the adjoint, I write in column wise. A21 will be minus of 4 minus 27, that is 23. A22 is minus plus. Plus of, you can calculate it, it is 19. A23, remove column and row containing that, it will be plus minus plus. Minus of, okay? Minus 45, minus 6, that is minus of minus 51, that is 51. Further, A31, moving on to third row, plus minus, plus of 16 minus 21, that is equal to minus 5. Further, A32 is calculated minus 46, A33 calculated, it is calculated as minus 39. So we have the cofactors, what we found in row wise, we write in column wise to get the adjoint, right? 58, 23. We found row wise, we write in column wise the adjoint. We take the transpose. Second column will be from the second row, that is 23, 19, 51. And the third column will be from the third row, that is minus 5, minus 46, minus 39. Well, we have the adjoint, so can we write A inverse? A inverse will be 1 by determinant A into adjoint of A. Determinant A is 321. 1 by 321. Let us keep as it is at 321. Keep outside, we will take inside later. Don't try to make inside and make fractions. No, let us keep 1 by 321 outside itself for now. X equal to A inverse B. That is, A inverse is 1 by 321 into the adjoint multiplied by B. So keeping again 1 by 321 outside, we multiply 1 by 321 into, what is that? 58 into 22 plus 23 into minus 16 plus minus 5 into minus 11. What is that? 58 into 22 plus 23 into minus 16 plus minus 5 into minus 11. You calculate it, that is coming to be 963. Second element, second row, that is 20 into 22 plus 19 into minus 16 plus minus 46 into minus 11, we have that is equal to 642. Now third row, 3 into 22 plus 51 into minus 16 plus minus 39 into minus 11, that is calculated to minus 321. Now this will be equal to 1 by 321 will be taken inside now, will be nothing but 3, 2 minus 1. Now we can read off. So x equal to 3, x, y, z equal to 3, 2 minus 1 means x equal to 3, y equal to 2 and z equal to minus 1. Is the procedure very clear? I have only taken up the first procedure here, or the first case here, where the unique solution exists, that is determinant of A is non-zero. We'll take up further later. Let us take one point. When determinant A is non-zero, unique solution exists. Unique solution X equal to A inverse B, where A inverse is 1 by determinant A into adjoint of A. What is adjoint of A? Transpose of cofactor matrix. Don't mess up with that. Adjoint of A is the transpose of cofactor matrix. How to write adjoint of A? Take the cofactors of each element from the row wise, then put in the columns to get the adjoint. Otherwise, you spreadly find cofactor matrix and transpose. Somehow you have to make with no error there. So we have the solution x equal to 2, x equal to 3, y equal to 2, and z equal to minus 1. I have few questions here. You have to sit and do. There is no alternative. No one else can help here. Solve using matrix method. And in all this, you can see, I have taken up only determinant not equal to 0. Determinant equal to 0 will keep it's not way. First one is a 3 by 3 matrix. Second again 3 by 3 because 3 equations in 3 are not. Second also 3 equations in 3 are not. Third one, you may find a very comfortable, you can eliminate the variables and find, but you are asked to solve using matrix methods only. You solve using matrix methods and you apply some other method and solve, it won't be accepted at all. When a method is specified, that's a part of the question, you cannot change the method. If it is simply solve this equation, you can solve it anyway, but you are asked to solve using matrix method. Third and fourth will be very simple, but matrix, because here the inverse of a 2 by 2 matrix you can just write on the instance by looking. Why? Because determinant you can just pick, the adjoint also you can just pick. How? Adjoint of a 2 by 2 matrix is obtained by interchanging the diagonal elements and changing the sign of other elements. So these things I have done one example, just you have to do. Okay? But just a minute, don't go away, let me take that. I hope you are following it. I think some are absent.